Your client comes in, they want a different design. Melissa's about to be in a bad mood.
I'm not much of a hand painter, but
like me, I don't like it so much.
Well, I like it, just I'm not that great at it, but I think it's so important that we know different things that are hot right now as a nail tech.
Yeah.
So I will never turn anybody down. So if I could do it, you could do it.
And what she said is absolutely true. You gotta learn the trends. You gotta be able to do it. If it walks in the door, whether you like it or not, she's gonna be doing it right now.
So today I'm going to color block with custom made Mission Control. So let's get started. So I custom mixed all these colors. Some of them I just simply added white, some I added a couple colors with white, so I'll break it down for you. The melon right here, I added white to it. So it's just melon, like 4 parts melon and a 1/4 part white to custom mix it, okay? The yellow, it's called Solar, and Solar I actually added white the same ratio. So like 4 parts yellow, 1 part white, and it will just lighten it perfect. Our Mega Jam, I added a little white too. I added like about just a dash of white to it, not a 1/4, just like a dash, but you could play with it to see what color you really want to make. So I'm kind of just giving you an idea how to custom mix them. Now these two I'll custom mix on camera for you because I mixed a few different colors to create that color again. Okay, we'll make our purple one first. So I'll take some Mega Jam, I'll wipe it off. Add some Orbit. I'm going to do a 1/4 of it of what I put on and mix this and see how it comes out like. Okay, this is going to make a great purple. So you mix it till you see not a rainbow in it. So it rainbowed there. Okay, wipe this off. Then I'm going to add a tad bit of white. You do not want to overpower with white because white's pretty powerful. It'll lighten it a lot. I would rather you add as you go. So I'm going to add a little bit and see what this turns into. Mix it up real good. And one thing I should say, just know, mix enough for your set, because if you try to mix again when you're freehanding it like this, it's usually going to be a tad off. So what I do is I have clear mixing jars like this. They come in a 4-pack. So what I do is I'll mix a bunch of custom colors, and these last a long time. I'll put a little white sticker on top of here, like a price tag sticker, and put the color on from there. So that's a great tip. They're already custom mixed. You could roll with them from there. My next color that I'm going to do is Orbit and Sonic. Remember to wipe it off before you come into here. And this one I pretty much did equal parts. That's an incredible teal right there. So again, what I would suggest, because I'm not going to use all of this is enough for her full set. I'll have some left over. But if you're mixing colors you really like, you should put them in your containers so you have them just to go really fast on your client when they want that picture, when they see it on your social media or on yourself. So it's just a speed technique by making them ahead of time when you have downtime. And a lot of times colors change during the season, so it's nice to, when the season's coming, to mix colors that are kind of in the clothing already, so you could already roll with them. I have her nails prepped from a 150 and protein bond on them already. So I think I might put one more coat of protein bond just to be safe. I pre-did these just to see what kind of color blocking I wanted to show you. It's pretty popular right now. So I'll show you how I did it on this one. I'll go ahead and protein bond one more coat on here. So I'm putting some ManiQ Top. You could use whatever top coat or gel you want. This is what's going to clean my brushes in between colors. Before I start, I kind of like to run my brush through it to make sure it's tight. Okay, so the two brushes I'll be working with are these two, a detailer and a striper brush. I'll use an orange wood stick to create all my look. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just start with whatever color I feel like starting with. So I'm gonna start with my teal. I'm gonna kind of roll my brush in it. Use my fingernail like I always do as a palette. Then I'm gonna start from any direction I wanna go and start creating my shapes. Okay, so what I'm doing, if you see the angle of my brush, you want to be at 12 o'clock, no more than 2 o'clock when you're making a line. That will help you make your lines pretty straight. Now, you all know I'm not much of a hand painter, right? Takes a lot of patience. I really admire hand painting artists. My creativity is more color and dimension, but I do like to step out of my comfort zone and do what's hot right now. So I will push myself to do designs like this. Super fun. It's just time consuming, but it's fun to do and create. So I'm gonna do a few in this color. So I'm using my striping brush a lot right now. And if you notice, I'm anchoring my finger. When you anchor your finger, just like when you electric file, you have a lot of control over to where your brush is going to go. So anchoring is always going to give you control for your movement. And it also stops your hand from shaking. What my orange wood stick's for is if I go a little close to the cuticle, I want to clean it up. Now, if you notice, mission control is not moving, okay? So what I'm going to do is just continue before I flash set it. And I usually flash set them in between colors, and the reason being, when I'm getting really close to the color I already did, if I touch the other color, the colors could blend and mix, which would be cool for another design, but not color blocking. So you want to make sure you get it all the way on your sides. Let's do a little more teal than we did on the last one, so I'll throw in a teal right here. Let's go straight. Okay, go ahead and flash set. So she flash set this for 10 seconds. Really, that's all it needs, so it doesn't blend in with each other. And then I'll go into my next color. Let's go into purple. So you just use your imagination and start creating whatever design you're doing. I'm doing pretty much like points. Some are like triangles, pretty much different sizes of them. Squiggly looks good too. You just use your imagination from here. Okay, filling in, once you outline it, you're filling in all the middle space. And create one right here. Fill in your space. And let's do a little one here. Again, take your time, balance your finger, your pinky somewhere. I feel like balancing your pinky is pretty much 100% of a trick of doing nails. I feel like once you get your balance down, you could electric file well, your application will be well, your hand painting will be well. It's really the key to nails. I'll have Kira go under the light for 10 seconds. I have it on the 10-second timer, and I'll show you how I clean this in a better view. Usually wipe it off like I did there, then I come in my top coat and wipe it again, and it cleans it for the next color. Okay, so now I'm going to go into yellow. Okay, from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a yellow to here, and a yellow to here, then fill it all in. Now this is time consuming. Hand painting is time consuming, and there's actually a lot of hand painters that charge charges for their hand painting. There's some that, because it's so easy for them, they don't charge much. Hand painting takes a lot of time. Matter of fact, it takes more time than a dimension to me, but then dimension's my thing. So you kind of have to keep in mind, you always want to charge for what you're doing, the extras. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to use for that. Kira cured it for 10 seconds. Okay, so now let's go to pink. Alrighty, let's do a little bit of pink right here and do a little tiny sliver. Let me use my little brush. The micro detailer really gets it in tight. The striping brush covers more ground, and this details it. And again, 10 seconds is all you need. It's just going to harden it. So when you put your line close to it, it's not going to bleed into each other. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is outline this. Okay, go alongside the purple. She's going to flash that for 10 seconds while I'm cleaning my brush. So let's do green now. Okay, I'm going to get my little detailer for this. This is just a small space, so it'll really help me detail. Now this, your brush has to be straight up and down to get it real tight. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is make sure all my sides have enough, and I feel like I need purple here. So I'll dip it in the purple and come all the way to the side. So this is just your cleanup work. Let's do a little bit of teal right here. I see a little space missing right here. And the reason why I have it from this view is it's a different shadow and a different angle. Fill that in. So you see what I mean about patience for this? Because I'm not a hand painter, but I always venture out to do new things. So I'm gonna have her cure it for 1 full minute so it gets a full cure. So now that she flash set her nails, I'm going to pick a color And I think I'm going to do the pink mix on her thumb. I wanted to show you how you polish it because it's a little challenging sometimes to polish Mission Control. So I'm going to show you how I do it. Pick up some of my color, I'll load up my brush. Okay. Then I'll start at my cuticle area and kind of just dab it on a little. And get it as close to the cuticle as I can. And I'll start dragging it down. Get some more. Now the cool thing about this is Mission Controls really only takes one coat to full cover. So you'll kind of start off with your detail work, bring it down, and slow down on your sides. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is make sure right here I could see it's a little jaggedy. There you go, that's what your orange wood sticks for. I'm going to load up my brush just a little more, not a whole lot, and I'm going to come down and make sure everything is covered even. Now I'm not putting pressure on my brush, I'm just guiding it. I'm making contact and guiding it. It will self-level. Let's put a tad bit more here. There we go. So you could kind of see as you move it where you need to add. Okay, you could also get your brush, your detail brush, load it up, come closer to her sidewall. There's a little bit right there. And let's do that to the opposite side. Make sure it's covered all the way around. That looks great. So now I'm going to have her fully cure 1 minute. Once she cures for 1 minute, I'm going to go in with my top coat of choice. Okay, the reason why I wanted to demo that, if you watched my other video of how I polish gel polish, it's complete opposite. The reason being it's 2 different types of gel. Mission Control is not going to run, but if you have more on your brush and you start at your cuticle, it's going to give you the opportunity to get it real tight, and then you could drag everything down. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do stain resistant, and I'm going to put a good coat on here. And I usually top coat twice when I Mission Control, and I'll tell you why. It's Mission Control does cure with a non-tack top. Okay, so it cures pretty slick. So I always go into stain resistant when I use it, so it's a harder gel, so it's going to cap everything in there. When I go in with my second coat, it just secures that everything is sealed and going to wear very well. Because usually when you put your top coat on a slick surface, what happens? It will peel, right? This does not peel with stain resistant. It's the best to use on it. And so does, go ahead and go under for 30 seconds. And so does Ultimate Finish. That works well as well. It's a little thicker of a top coat, so whatever one you want to pick, they both work. So I'll just have her go under 30, and then I'll go over it with a light coat, kind of go over my sides to make sure it seals very well. And I'll go 1 more coat. Again, I don't need to put a lot on it. All I'm doing is just making sure it's covered well. Here's where it's important. Come through here and come through here. So this is a total custom mixed set. I didn't use any color raw from the pot. I lightened them all and changed some of them. Okay, so go ahead and cure 1 full minute at the end and we'll be done. So then I'm going to go into swipe and wipe off my dispersion layer. Now I like to take my 150 file after I wipe all the sticky off on my sides, and I just want to make sure there's no top coat or anything that's ran anywhere, and it kind of tightens up my design. I'm filing kind of underneath on the side. I'm not filing on my side where it's going to take off what I just put on. So I come in right here. And a lot of times your client will say, it feels like something's on my skin, but you don't see it. If you take your 150 file and do this, it makes a huge difference. And it doesn't cause any lifting or pilling when you do that. Okay, once I'm done with that, I am going to put back the nutrients in her nails with rose oil. Again, I retell this product to my clients because what it does is it keeps their cuticles and their nails pretty plush and fortified. So when they come back to me, they have great cuticles and their adhesion's 100%. It makes a huge difference. And it's great walking advertisement as well because they're walking around with growth on their nails and their nails still looking really great. So a lot of my clients say they get comments and compliments on their nails when they're at Starbucks coming to their appointment. So that's a cool compliment, right? So I hope you enjoyed this color blocking series that I did. It's super fun. There's a couple more things I could have done to it. You could outline it with a black or a white, like where the color blockings meet. I think that makes it a little darker. I wanted to keep it a little more summer. So use your imagination and have fun with it. Thank you.
Okay, the ever important question of how much. Now, personally, I always said I'd charge until they didn't want it. Hand painting, that is. But
I agree.
Seriously, like we still have to do it.
Yes.
So how much are you charging for the set? Not set.
Well,
Phil?
what I did is it was a rebalance
It was a
that I did
rebalance.
on her. So my rebalance at that length starts at 80.
Okay.
I believe I used 7 colors, mission controls. And so I'll charge $35 for the 7. They're $5 each.
Okay.
Then I'm going to charge a $20 fee for custom mixing because I custom mix every single color. I lightened them all, or in some of them I mixed a few of them. You saw what I did.
Okay.
I also charge a minute for $1 every minute for hand painting. I highly suggest that because when you're painting portraits, whether you're excellent at it or you're trying it, I think you should do $1 a minute because literally her nail took me 30 minutes to paint one. I painted 2, so that took me an hour. I could have rebalanced her, gel polished her, and started another client and made that more than that in that amount of time. So you should charge at least $1 a minute.
That makes a lot of sense because a lot of times we talk about charging $5 per glitter or something like that. But when you have something that you've charged for the color, but it's very detailed.
Yes, it's time consuming. It's very tedious and they have to stay still. You have to be still. It's very different from laughing, and for me it is. And I'm not a natural hand painter, so I suggest that.
I think it's totally worth it.
I do too.
What is the total charge?
It would be $195 altogether. That's for her rebalance, all the mission controls I used, my custom mixing, and my $1 a minute. So that all equals $195.
I think it's a value. I think they're beautiful. We
Thank
appreciate you having the patience to hand paint for us today. Thank you, Melissa.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Thank you so much for watching our nail videos. To check out more, head right over here, and to subscribe to our channel, click right over here.